Britain, we follow British values. The very values and the very countries that gave them such great lives, they want to dismantle them. It's barbaric, primitive, redundant, and above all, a threat to Western civilization. That they assume all cultures will eventually assimilate. They think that cultures that throw LGBTQ off rooftops, treat women like third-class citizens, boastfully propagate child marriage, kill dissidents and apostates. There comes a point when the natives have to stand up and say enough is enough. Then wondering, why are the locals not seeing this threat? How many more terrorist attacks, how many more ghettos, and how much more intimidation of the locals will it take before the natives say, enough is enough? What did I tell you? Have I not been saying constantly that it's not over yet? Have I not been saying that the values that created something as amazing as Western civilization could not just roll over and die? Well, I'm so happy to report that it seems like the West is finally waking up to the threat of Islamism. And guess who's leading the charge? Our very own Tommy Robinson. Yes, yesterday, Tommy led a march of thousands, some are saying tens of thousands of people of all colors and cultures united under one point. In Britain, we follow British values. No longer can people come from cultures that are not compatible with British values. I say British values for this particular video because this event took place in Britain. But by British values, I mean secular, liberal, democratic, Western values. These are the same values we love and enjoy in America, Canada, New Zealand, Western Europe, and of course, my very own Australia. The West has welcomed people from all cultures for over 100 years now. People of all colors and from all parts of the globe have come to these Western countries and made great lives because of these Western, secular, liberal, democratic values. Unfortunately, while most people came and assimilated, we were bound to get some bad eggs. I've said it before, when the Hindus, Chinese, Russians, Italians, and Greeks came, they assimilated. A lot of Muslims came here and benefited from these values, but a significant percentage of them don't respect these values. The very values and the very countries that gave them such great lives, they want to dismantle them. They escaped countries with Sharia in search of better lives only to ask for Sharia in their new countries. Why did you leave your countries in the first place then? It's not that these people are bad, it's the idea that they've been brainwashed with that is evil.
Britain is Darul Harb because they are, anathema to God's law. They're not implementing it, they're violating His sanctity, and therefore this is war against Allah and His Messenger. We are obliged as Muslims to take the authority away from the people who have it and implement the Sharia. Now I hope that can come in a very peaceful way.
It's barbaric, primitive, redundant, and above all, a threat to Western civilization.
If your religion has to have an expansionist element, so then therefore there is no situation or conceivability of peace being made between Muslims and non-Muslims.
Der Islam wird in Deutschland kommen, ob du willst oder nicht. Deine Tochter wird Kopftuch tragen. Sein Sohn wird Bart tragen. Okay? Und deine Tochter wird einen Bärtigen heiraten.
So would you like to see Sharia law in Canada replace Canadian law?
At some point it will. Because we have families, we are making babies. You're not. Your population is going down the slump, right? By 2060, Muslims will be the biggest religious group the world over. What are you going to do then? We owe our allegiance and our loyalty first and foremost to our religion, not to the Queen.
Ex-Muslims like us have been trying to make oblivious Westerners aware of the evils of Islamism, but one downside of these secular, liberal, democratic societies is that they assume all cultures will eventually assimilate. They think that cultures that throw LGBTQ off rooftops, treat women like third-class citizens, boastfully propagate child marriage.
If my daughter reached the age of menstruation at 9 years old, I would say you are ready to get married.
Kill dissidents and apostates.
Little weaklings who leave their religion and cause
corruption in the land by spreading it, the capital punishment in Islamic law would be applied to you. We have no doubt, and we're proud of that.
Alhamdulillah, I'm proud of it.
Would he kill me?
Alhamdulillah, I'm proud of it.
Would he kill me?
I'm proud of it.
I'm an ex-Muslim. Would he
What are you
kill
gonna
me?
do, bruv? I'm proud
Would
of
he
it.
kill me?
What are you gonna do?
I'm an ex-Muslim.
I'm proud of it. What are you gonna do?
But what do you want?
I'm proud of it. What are
Would
you
he
gonna do?
kill? I'm an
Alhamdulillah,
ex-Muslim.
I'm proud of it.
Would he kill me?
What are you gonna do?
Relax.
I'm proud of it.
Would he kill me?
What are you gonna do,
Okay,
bruv?
okay.
I'm proud of it.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
I'm an ex-Muslim.
Alhamdulillah.
Create no-go zones and demand a parallel legal systems are okay.
What, it's a Christian country. It's a Christian country. Yes, it is. This is a Christian country.
You're jealous that we're taking over?
You're not taking over. Why are you taking over?
No, it's not okay. The reason why everyone is prosperous in these Western countries, the reason why some stupid blue-haired wokies can get in bed with people who want to throw them off rooftops is because our Western liberal secular values allow them to be like that. But no more. We can't allow that anymore. There comes a point when the natives have to stand up and say enough is enough. It's not easy. We've been seeing this train wreck in slow motion for almost 2 decades and wondering, why are the locals not seeing this threat? How many more terrorist attacks, how many more ghettos, and how much more intimidation of the locals will it take before the natives say enough is enough? But we haven't been alone. Other people have been trying to awaken their masses too. And now I can say we are starting to see the first sparks of this movement turn into a full-fledged revolution. A new era of awareness and action is upon us. And it's quite inspiring to witness the dawn of this monumental change. Geert Wilders has been trying to awaken his people for almost 2 decades, and he recently won elections in the Netherlands and will form a government that will put the Netherlands first. None of this, all cultures are the same and we should all get down to our knees and kiss the ring of Islam. None of that. No more. And here in Britain, I say here as though I'm in Britain, but I say here because most of my audience is made up of British people. So here in Britain, Tommy Robinson has been arrested, attacked, intimidated, doxxed, and probably lost his family. But he stood firm for the cause he believes in, which is to stand up for British values and say no to the thuggery of Islamists.
There's a saying, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. Looking at the crowd today, I certainly feel like I'm winning people, okay?
He's done it. Tens of thousands of people turned up for the preservation of British values. This 1st of June, I think, will go down in history as a turning point. I don't know what will happen, but things will not remain the same. Tommy is going to keep mobilizing more and more people, but unfortunately, if the Labour Party wins, I'm afraid Tommy's life is going to get a bit more difficult. So, testing times ahead. But Tommy has shown that people are waking up. As I said, the greatest civilization ever to exist is not going to just roll over and die. But it's no time to be complacent either, because every great civilization was the greatest of its time. The Romans were the greatest ever at that time, but they slowly decayed. Funnily enough, they also had a lot of refugees. The Visigoths, the Gauls, Huns, Vandals. You know, the word vandalism actually came from Vandals who vandalized the greatest empire of its time, Rome. So it can happen, as it has happened in history before. If you want to protect your culture, your country, and above all, your civilization, then you can't afford to be complacent. Do not bend over backwards for those who have no respect for your culture or values. They say that they will take over. Listen to them when they say that.
It's in the discretion of the Emir, the leader of Muslims. So if there is a need to expand, or there's opportunity to expand the rule of Islam, then that can happen. And it doesn't involve just massacring people. It involves establishing the Sharia, and people become Ahlul Dhimma, basically the protected people who have to pay, the jizya, have to pay a certain tax, but they're protected and they're under the control of the Sharia. And I already addressed that there's not exactly equal rights because there's an incentive for people to become Muslim. They're not eradicated, but this Islamic society provides incentives so that people can accept Islam and be Muslim.
They say that they have no love for your country or your values. It's time you start taking their threat seriously and support people like Geert Wilders and Tommy Robinson. If you want to see how monumental this march is, just have a look at the tears of some of these Islamists. our very own, the silly dilly doo dilly Hussein. Allah, Allah, who the F is Allah? Islamophobia, fear-mongering, and heavy drinking all on full display at today's far-right march in London, led by Tommy Robinson and backed by Lawrence Fox. Well, this crying victimhood and these shrieks of Islamophobia to prey on those good-natured, blue-haired Wokistanis are not going to work anymore. If you want to live in the West, if you want to benefit from what these amazing countries have to offer, then you have to respect its values and its laws and the wishes of its people. Or in other words, as Khalisi said, bend the knee.
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 Otherwise, their generosity, which you mistook for cowardice, is going to soon turn into their anger and rage, which I don't think you'll be able to withstand. And I can't wait for that day to come. So I hope you liked today's video. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And if you want me to keep making awesome videos like these, then you can support me on patreon.com/HarusSultan or buy me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/HarusSultan. See, my optimism paid off, but it's not over yet. I'll be back with more. Until next time, ta-da. If you'd like to support my work, you can become my patron by going to patreon.com/HarusSultan, or you can simply buy me a coffee.